individual punishment is banned. I heard a lot of people in the comments of this video saying, well, they're prisoners. Right. They deserve. I mean, look.
And let's not forget, a lot of these people down south have been proven to have been thrown in there over the decades for crimes they didn't even commit.
Well, you never see a body just sitting in a cell. We had a guy get murdered on my cell block, and I remember that, for one, they cleared the cell block.
Of course.
They transferred. I mean, there's a dead body there.
Yes.
It's a security risk. So the boy had gotten beat over the head with a bar. Murdered in our cell block. They moved us all out, locked the cell block down. We seen the body. They're sitting right there, and the inmates are watching all of this.
Talking about it.
Crazy.
Talking about it.
So let's take a look.
With Anthony Mason and Tony DeCopo.
And besides that, the living conditions, oh my God. No wonder he died. I think that was the issue too. The dude stood by the door the whole time while the guy was dying.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, let's speak on this real quick. Before we get to the other conditions, the inmate's allegation, he was yelling at a guard. He said, you stood there and watched him die.
With a shotgun.
Yeah.
A man's in a cell. In a prison cell, has no weapons. Did
they say how he died? What was wrong with him?
I had to play I forget what his actual thing at death was.
Now,
they said he was
prison,
fighting for his life.
Did you ever have a health issue in prison that you were trying to get help for and they just drug their feet? I know I did.
I didn't, but I know a lot of my friends. Listen, man, the government, you don't want government insurance. It's probably like that.
Well, and look, in fairness to what somebody said in the comments, you don't want to deal with bad conditions, don't go to prison. Now, there's innocent people in prison, but I've done a good job of keeping myself out, so have you.
Right. I've only been to prison one time in my life, and I will say when I was in there, I actually had to do some little hearing with child support.
Right.
And it blew my mind that this judge told me that being in prison in Virginia was a voluntary act. I told they hung up on me. I told her, please open the doors. I promise you, I will leave.
If it's voluntary, then I should be able to go. Right? Two men escape.
Business.
Is outside of that facility, but Mark, this is really part of a national issue, right?
It is, Gail, very much so a national issue. America has the world's highest incarceration rate.
Highest, freest country.
In recent years, and critics consider Mississippi's prison system to be among America's most troubled, underfunded, understaffed, and violent. Inmates here at the Parchman facility say it's not the guards who run the place, it's the gangs.
Let's see this.
Product of environment.
Inmates using contraband cell phones allegedly shot these images, although CBS News hasn't confirmed that independently.
Well, of course.
This
right.
is Parchman Farm, home to Mississippi's death
I thought the same thing.
I
They
mean,
had
look
illegal
at that.
phones in there, but
right.
how else would you have known this?
3 inmates were murdered here in 3 days.
3 inmates. Now look, you were in federal prison, one of the worst around.
Worse.
I was in several Pennsylvania state
the average
prisons.
sentence 60+ years. I mean, people where I was at are on A&E. I mean, these are for real people.
So now let me ask you. I know for me, I've seen 6 murders in a year at the prison I was at, which is not great.
Yeah. Nothing like that. A couple murders. Usually at the Fed, see, they would lock us down for 2-3 months, and then you wouldn't. It sucked. They do an investigation. They investigate every person. They want to talk to you.
Right, like it's a street trial. The point
crazy.
is, these prisons can be ran by gangs, but now the more modern they get, they lock that shit down.
Man, they got gun towers everywhere I was at.
Yeah.
Man, they shoot your ass.
So,
in a cell, and then they putting them in cells with the rivalry. How could you do that?
At least one lawsuit alleged
And they know. They have information of what gangs these people are with.
now listen, before we get to this, you have intelligence officers, when you come in, they
They're
document,
called gang unit. They're called gang unit.
They write down all your tattoos.
Everything.
That's the first thing they do.
When I went to prison, they said, "Oh, who you with?"
Right.
I ain't had no tattoos. They said, "Oh, someone's going to recruit you." That's what the gang people told me.
Listen, they want to know from the gate who you're with. They document it. So trust and believe, unless all of these inmates lied about their affiliation, the fucking guards knew.
That not only do they know, but believe me, it's a narrative, and I promise you, I swear to you, that they push because it's easier to control 1,600 killers when they're fighting against each other with the 100 people than when the 1,600's fighting 100
Unified,
people. There.
yeah. Well,
they let you do the gang stuff in there. They let this stuff progress because when they're fighting amongst each other, they're not messing trying to get out. It's simple.
That's crazy.
Yet
So-
since 2014, Mississippi has slashed funding and staffing.
Yeah, Mississippi's
Gangs like the
terrible.
Vice Lords
Well, it's
and
poor.
Black Gangster Disciples
Well, they're
have
very
thrived
racist down
inside.
there.
Yeah.
Very
Mississippi
racist.
Governor Phil Bryant.
Look at this
We are
guy.
going to stop it. We have it under control as best we can.
You have it under control.
Like anybody believes that guy.
Almost half the roughly 1,300 corrections positions in 3
Wow.
facilities remain.
So look at that. Look at that. Did y'all see that
You
statistic?
know it's bad when nobody wants a job.
There was 1,400 correctional officer positions, and
Over 600.
over 600 are unfilled. I mean, so they're severely understaffed. And I can tell you, if you don't have enough guards for a prison, you're in trouble.
And I
Okay,
bet you that mayor's got a good, nice 6-figure salary.
guaranteed does,
He
and
ain't
don't
taking
deserve
care of
it.
He ain't taking care
Guards
of
start
it.
around $26,000.
Look.
Good
roughly
God.
The national poverty level for a family of 4. 65% of the state's corrections officers are women.
Now let's speak on it. Let's speak on that. What was your
Society's kind of
experience?
changed a little bit with women and men, hasn't
They
it?
have. But now I think personally, no disrespect to the ladies, I think that's outrageous.
That is.
65% of the guards in these prisons are females. I don't think that female guards as a whole are equipped to deal with male inmates.
Not only that, but you've been in the system. I believe that women guards can and will cause situations.
Oh, they will. No, listen. I got to tell you a story. So there was this guard in Huttonsville Correctional Center. I'm going to tell y'all a story. It's going to blow your mind. You may be able to Google this. Female guard. Now, the girl had a big booty. I'm going to speak on that from the gate. All right. So every day you'd see her flaunting down the hall, smiling at the inmates, etc., etc.
It
So-
happens.
Yeah. So now she ended up fucking this inmate named Mike from Morgantown, West Virginia.
It happens.
They had they were sneaking into the stairwell. He was punishing her. She gets fired, and she gets charged with a crime, because that's a crime now for female COs
Yeah.
to sleep with a male inmate. Her husband, who was also a prison guard, committed suicide. Killed himself.
Good Lord.
Because he found out his wife was messing with one of the inmates. It's crazy. Destroyed everybody's life. To me, I just don't think it's safe. And vice versa. I don't think male guards should preside over women.
But at least the male guards can. And listen, I'm not trying to take no shots at women, but I'm just telling you, if you were at the prison trying to watch me, and I'm in there 365 days a year for the decade I was in there doing pushes, if I want you, there's nothing you can do. To stop me.
Ain't nothing, you know. And there's rapists in there that'll overpower
There
a
is.
female. So
Literally,
you
sick
know.
people. I mean, the sick people.
Now let's so we've covered prison. I want to get to policing in general that leads to prison.